What's your background? Are you Nigerian?
Yeah.
So how was it reception of like you basically saying I'm gonna do comedy full time because you're a doctor?
Yeah. I think with my parents, since I got the degree, they leave me alone.
Fair enough.
They don't bother me. I could come and say I'm the chief medical officer of ISIS. They'll back it. They they always say at least you're the chief. In the NHS you're junior, but here you're the chief. They don't give a damn. They let me be.
Okay.
They let me be.
So it's just that degree.
Look, man, that degree I could be an armed robber. They say he's a doctor though. That's what they'll say. So they don't mind. They leave me. They fully leave me.
Okay,
Obviously,
so they didn't take it to you. Alright, listen. Before you get into the video, we have a goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers.
You look, I can't lie, it's a no-brainer.
There's so many people who watch
and you're not
don't subscribe.
You see the red button, right underneath the video, innit? And then there's a bell right next to it.
Click those two buttons before we go into the video.
And when we hit 1,000, we'll pay it back to you, man. Don't worry.
Because you have to understand, the more you subscribe, the more shit we can do.
Simple as.
Yeah, cool.
I can see why that's your normal spot. This chair is not the one, man.
this is what we give to the guests.
Yeah. I can see why. I can feel why.
That's the one that we usually give to the guests. I'm gonna be real. You know, I couldn't say your surname. I've been trying to pronounce it the whole time.
Try me.
Eesh.
Try it. That's what I did.
Akadriri.
Yeah, that's the Af way of saying it, but yeah, Akadriri.
Akadriri.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, you weren't far off, man.
I was gonna say something completely different. I was gonna say something completely different, but yeah, man. But what you saying? You guys into
ready when you are.
Cool. So it's a Tuesday, and it means one thing. It means one thing only. We're tuning back into the 2-Man-Step podcast. Myself, DK.
Myself, Damz.
Today, every week we say the same thing. We got a special guest today. You got Michael. You said the same name because I couldn't say it.
yeah, just try it, man. Don't be ashamed, man.
For the English way of saying it, Akadriri. There you go.
Yeah, that's the way I say it, innit? Like if one of my aunties try to say it'll be Akadri, they'll put extra bass into it. But I say Akadriri. That's how I've been saying it all my life.
And you're right. And tell the people what you do.
Yeah, man. I do a bit of stand-up comedy. I also, my profession, I guess by day, but I've not been doing it by day for the last 6 months, is a junior doctor, man. So we've just been balancing the both. I do podcasting as well, man. Like you guys doing your podcast, the 2-Man-Step podcast. I do my own podcast with a couple friends called Late Nights and Wet Wipes, basically parenting podcast, because we're all comics and fathers. So I'm trying to stay busy, man. That's what you can do in this economy, man. Try to stay busy.
100%, man. The first question I've got is how is it balancing both junior doctor and a stand-up?
Busy, yeah, it's difficult, man. It's difficult to do both well. So that's why when I was doing both, I was mediocre at both, man. So you can't. It's very hard to balance the two. But I think with anything, if you've got determination, you want to do something, you'll find time for it. And it just meant a few long days like if I had a day at work, 8 to 5 or whatever it is, that means that I'm dipping to my gig. I may not go home in between. Then after I go home, I get home like 10, 11, do the same again the next day and stuff like that. So it's tiring, don't get me wrong, but if you want something to make work for you and that's what you want to do, because I enjoy doing it. I don't do the comedy for banter, like obviously you do it for banter because it is jokes, but like you do it because you want to do it, you know what I'm saying? So if you don't want to do something or you're not got the heart in it, you're not going to be determined to do it, you're not going to get up, you're not going to be willing and driven. So, but fortunately, I've been doing mainly the comedy for the last 6 months when I took a sabbatical from work. Because I wanted to see what the ceiling is for the comedy. I think if you're doing two things, which you can't sometimes have to due to circumstance, but I think I needed to dive 2 foot in to really know what my ceiling is. Because if I'm just relying on this, then it's like, damn, you're going to do anything to make it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think whilst I always had the safety net of a job, I probably wouldn't give it 100%. Because I couldn't. Because like days will be like, oh, I'm working, I can't do that. I can't take this opportunity because I'm working and stuff. So now it's like, I clean the slate, calendar's empty for any sort of comedy opportunities.
Just comedy. So for the last 6 months, it's just been comedy.
That's it, man. That's it.
How did that journey start, the comedy journey?
Do you know what? People at uni will be like, oh, Michael, you got banter, you got jokes, da-da-da-da-da. And I'll be like, yeah. Like, I enjoy making people laugh. Just a witty one-liner. Someone says something, I just tag onto the end of it, say a little something.
Yeah.
And people will bust up. But I didn't think anything of it. And I think seeing the American comics, people like Kevin Hart, freaking raw, man. Like, what at the time, I was like, why haven't we got our own version of Kevin Hart?
Yeah, 100%.
Or when I say that, I mean a big comic that is just well known, that more and more talking about black comic because there's several huge white comics in this country. But why ain't there a black comic? Bar obviously Lenny Henry's probably the other generation's comics. You know what I mean? Who's the comic that everyone just knows? That's in the films. That's doing the commercials. That's doing the stand-up specials. And this was funny. This like 2017, and then obviously that was the year that we see people like Mo Gilligan obviously start their rise and Michael Dapper and all that. So then that did come to play incidentally. But I was thinking, right, man, like let me add my name to the mix. So call it egotistical. I thought, let me just try, and that's what I did. I done my first gig, which was a gong show, which is, I don't know if you've been to those sort of shows before.
What's a gong show?
It's basically where the audience are given the power. So the audience, 3 audience members are usually given cards, and the act, it's usually no acts that come on stage. They got 5 minutes to try last, and if all 3 audience members put their cards up, you got to dust off. So it's a bit of pressure in it because you're
It's almost like Brent's Got Talent.
Essentially, yeah.
Almost kind of.
Yeah, so obviously they buzz. Yeah, they don't like you. They can put the X on you and stuff like that. So it's like that. But obviously, this is the pressure. This is the comedy environment. The audience are encouraged to be a bit raucous, to be a bit dickish, to inflict some pain. Because it's funny when you see people fail in front of you, innit? Like we're all sadistic like that. We all enjoy it. So, but this one, you had the 2 minutes grace period. So the first 2 minutes are protected. The audience got to put up their cards, and I think I lasted 3.5 minutes. So after that, I was thinking, rah, man, I got something. And that was my first time ever on stage. So I was like, rah, there's something in this, man. There's something in this. And since then to this day, as I sit here right in front of you, I keep telling myself there's something in this. And I just keep going, man. Keep trying to write. Just keep trying to do more things, you know what I mean?
No, of course. So wait, you see, as you were mentioning, the 3 with the cards, do you know beforehand?
No, it's run the audience member. So imagine you go into I didn't know it was going to be that. I didn't sign myself. I don't like my own pain. I didn't sign up to it knowing that was going to be situated. I just typed in, I was living in South at the time at my parents' house. I just typed in open mic comedy Greenwich into Google. This was the club up the creek in Greenwich, the first club that popped up. Boom. And I just signed up for the night. I told some friends, hey man, I'm going to try this comedy thing. Come through if you want to see what I'm messing with, innit? And then when the MC, the host, was like, oh, this is talking to all the acts that I'm going to perform, going through the briefing, that's when it's like, oh, yeah, it's a gong show. I'm thinking, what the rascal?
Did you know what one was at the time?
I've never done this before. This is my first time ever like performing comedy. I don't know what this means. He's explaining it. I'm like, right, that sounds crazy. Yeah. But I invited people, and I said, I can't dust out now. Like, we'll see how funny these jokes are. That's what I told myself. We're going to see how funny these jokes are. And yeah, the last 3.5 minutes of jokes that for the first time I'm saying, I was like, okay, that there's something in this, man. So I just took that and ran with it, and here I am, man.
So that was 6 years ago?
Yeah, that was June 2017. June. So yeah, coming up to 6 years. It's coming up to 6 years, man.
So how did you feel in your first ever performance?
Oh,
were there nerves, or do you reckon you were just?
I was nervous, yeah, but I can't watch the tape back, man. Like standard stuff, like standard. I don't know what stand up you guys watch, but standard stuff. You take the mic out the mic stand. That's a standard thing. I left it in.
Okay.
Standard stuff.
So
like,
why did you do that, to feel a bit more confident and like?
No, I didn't know what I was doing, man. I don't know. It's my first time. First time. Imagine the first time doing anything. Imagine the first time one of you driving. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, 100%.
I didn't know what I was doing. I just kind of went up there, had my hands in my pocket. There was no stagecraft. I was just nervous, and then I bust a little joke with someone in the audience who got a laugh. I was like, oh shit. Like, that's when I was like, rah, I got something in this. And then when you hear a whole room bust up, it's a different type of feeling, man. It's hard to emulate that sort of feeling of euphoria. That feeling of, you're just gassed. Like you're just gassed. Like your head's on Pluto, man. Like, it's crazy. And you're always, as a comic, you're always chasing that next big laugh. You're always chasing it. So that's what you get it. I like it. I want it again. I want it again. I want it again. I want it again. Yeah, it's like we're just addicts, but we're just addicts to laughter. That's all it is.
That's crazy. So in terms of, obviously you said what? So how long have you actually been doing comedy? The 6 years? Or?
Yeah. So I done that one time. I done that show in June 2017, and then I took 3 months off. I had an exam I had to revise for to do my work, and then so I've been going hard since September 2017. So since then, so I basically call it 5.5 years, coming up to 6 years, and so I've been going hard since then. Obviously, we had the pandemic in between where we couldn't perform in that, but since then, So September 2017.
Okay, I see you went on the tour as well.
Yeah, man.
I was
Yes.
trying to get into that. The tour.
The tour, dope, man. Yeah, like basically what happens is that normally a comedian in this country, their trajectory is from what I'm talking about. The first sort of nights as a newbie, you try to get 5 minutes together, a 5-minute set, and then you try build it up to a 10-minute set, and then people do competitions. New act competitions to try to get your name out there. Different organisers do different competition. You try to get your name out there. Get 5 to 10 minutes set together. Then once you start establishing yourself with those, win a couple or get your name out there, then you move on to try to get 20 minminute set. And that's when you can perform in clubs, like comedy clubs. I'm sure there's comedy clubs in Luton where you guys are based and stuff like that. There's a comedy club in the Quarry Theatre in Bedford. So, there's comedy clubs all over. So the professional nights, Friday, Saturday. Then the next step is after you kind of do that a bit, then to try put an hour together, and that's a show.
Yeah.
So like if like Kevin Hart was here recently, when you go see Kevin Hart in O2 or wherever, he's doing an hour show.
I went to go see Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock.
Yeah. In the O2, I was there.
Yeah.
So I was there on the Saturday when they
went
came
on
in.
Sunday. Yeah.
So you see them. Obviously, Chris Rock done like 45 to an hour. Then Dave came on 45 to an hour.
Yeah.
So. And then they had openers to warm people up. So that's a proper.
That's a show.
That's a proper show. Because obviously they got comics.
Yeah, 100%.
They got Netflix comics warming up.
Yeah.
Insane. That's levels upon levels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not there. I'm not there.
That's the dream, though.
Yeah. When you say dream, I left that thinking, right. I looked around. I see 16,000 people.
Yeah, and that was on a
in
Saturday.
my home. In a home city. I was like, in my home city. I said, right, this is. If this is not the dream, if I'm not trying to aim for this, I might as well give up.
Yeah, 100%.
You understand? Your dream should scare you. If they don't scare you, they're not big enough. So exactly. So you do your show. So that's the level I got to. There's a thing called the Edinburgh Fringe Festivals where a lot of comics tend to go debut their first show. So I went there last summer, so August 2022, with the show that I toured. And normally people do a show the first time, and then they'll get reviewers, people come in, check it, whatever. Then they just park it, they just dash the material. I'm thinking, man, I spent a lot of time writing it, performing it, getting it right. So let me just put a tour together. So I booked the tour myself, just hit up different venues. Hey, man, I've got this show. I'd love to bring it to your city. People like, yeah, cool. So I put a little tour together and just took it round, man. And yeah, it was well received. Like, I'm not famous, I'm not a big name or anything, but people came out, showed out. Obviously, the NHS connection helped. I gave them a little discount on the tickets, and I think that helped push it as well. People were like, I feel
like you got to use the resources you have to.
100%.
So,
any USP you've got in anything, you got to shout about it. You got to let people know, all right, this is my thing. Like, you guys got jobs. If there's anything to do your job you want to bring to your podcast, then do it. If that's what you're comfortable with, because that will bring people towards you. Oh, they understand the life I live. So yeah, definitely. So I lean into that. I lean into that with my comedy now. I lean into that with the show and the advertising of the show. And you got to, because there's so much competition for eyes now. You go on your phone, you're scrolling. Everyone's competing for your attention. So you got to give people something that they will hopefully emotionally connect with. And if they emotionally connect with the NHS or healthcare, then boom. Then that's
something, isn't it?
Yeah, that's something to hook them on. And then hopefully when they're there, the content's good enough for them to stay. Good hope. Then even better, they'll like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and then they want to follow me on my journey. But yeah, everyone's competing for eyes. When you guys go on your phone, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, everyone's competing.
Trying to win your attention.
Everyone's trying to win your attention.
They do say attention's the new currency.
100%,
that's how it
man.
works, isn't it?
100%, man. Like everyone's trying to grab your attention. Everyone's trying to sell you something, or come see this, or come check that, or come. Everyone's fine. So hopefully, when you put the content out or whatever it is, or your advertising stuff, you just need to talk to people emotionally. I don't know if I'm articulating that well, but you just need to try touch them with something that I can identify with that. Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah, make yourself relatable.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, I can see that. And that was the whole point of when I've done the advertiser show. Like, let's speak to the NHS staff as well. So it was a good show, man. Like, obviously I'm biased, I'll say that. Yeah. But it was nice to just take it round to different places. People showing out, like, good numbers as well. Like, places I didn't think I'll get much love showed out and stuff like that. And then, filmed it. And then I'm just waiting for the edit to come back to me. And then my agent and I will sit down and decide what we want to do with it. So then, that's it.
When you're saying you decide what you're going to do with it, is that what What's the avenues? Is it either YouTube, I'm guessing?
Yeah, so you
Cut it up, TikTok, like what is it exactly?
Yeah, so you can either take it to streamers,
Okay.
like the aforementioned one that begins with N, or other different streamers and say, hey man, I've produced this special. Do you want it? Then they either check it, don't check it. And if they check it and they want it, then they put a number to it. Then it's up to us to decide whether we like that number or not.
To see what
All
happens.
that stuff. So there's that avenue. And if we go through different types of people, they don't want it, then the option, which if it came to, I'd be very happy with, just YouTube, put it on YouTube. And then, as you say, you chop up 1 minute clips, put it on the TikTok, put it on the Instagram. Get it out there. Because the main thing is, obviously, who doesn't want a good sum of money? But the main thing is for people to see it.
Yeah.
I'm still on the come up, so you got to get yourself out there.
Yeah.
And nowadays, social media is the quickest way to get yourself out there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, most definitely. It may come to in a month or 2 months' time. You may see me. Oh, hey, come check out on my social. Come check out my special. Here's a clip. Here's a clip. Here's a clip.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just want people to see it, man. See what I can do. See my ability, and then I'm ready writing the next show. So and then that's the way it is. You do a show, you put it out there, you start writing for the next one, and then it's like a rapper with an album. They put an album out, they got the singles. Then when they've toured that, they're writing the next one, and then the cycle continues.
Yeah. To be honest, it's exactly the same principle.
100%.
It's like an album, single,
100%.
So on. Yeah,
100%, 100%. Like they put out a single, we may put out a little clip on social. That's not the same sort of strength, but that's essentially it. And then it's like come watch my album. And then if they like the album, the only difference is that fans of music can listen to the music first, then go to the show to hear it live. Well, we can't do that at comedy. Because you try to do a joke they've heard before. Hey, I heard that, fam, right? Hey, man, come with a new joke. Come with a new joke. They're looking at you like you're some lazy rat. So obviously, you have to give them a little 1-2 as a tester, and then they come to the main show to watch.
When you went on tour, did you I'm guessing it was the same set for each night? It's been so difficult to write so many different
Oh, no,
sets.
you can't. No. Like the whole ethos of comedy is that you make it look like you just come up with it on the spot.
Yeah.
But you've rehearsed it, you've practiced it. You need to get so good that it looks like you're just doing it on the spot. But you have to. You can't. I don't know many people that can just come up with a very good hour off the cuff.
Yeah.
Like I've seen people do crowd work specials, and where people crowd. Those are when people just talk to audience, the crowd, and make jokes off there.
That's important, though, isn't it?
Oh, you got to be able to do that, 100%. So in my hour, I'll talk to the audience, obviously, and I'll just banter with them, find out a bit about information about people at the top of the show. So it just makes it more inclusive. So they're like, "Rah, I'm really part of the show. Man, he really included me. He spoke to me. He knows me. He knows what I do, and I make jokes off that." Off the cuff. So at least if you show them you're in the room and you're live, then they appreciate that a bit more. But it wouldn't be an hour of that, maybe 5 minutes of that in the show, just so it's like, okay, this show's just for you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they'll feel that for 5 minutes, but the rest of it is all stuff that I prepared and whatnot. So
so what would you say is your best and worst experience then?
Best experience in comedy? Well, the biggest room I've performed in is the Indigo. So there's a promoter. He's called Stam now, but he runs a few gigs up and down the country. And then they did something called like Comedy Culture Clash. I think it was like it's always a bit weird, but it's like Jamaicans versus Africans. I don't know why one country versus a continent, but there we go. Yeah. And then I was on Team Africa, and
wait, was that with A-Dot?
He's been on them. He wasn't on this one. So they usually do quite. They do a few of these different ones. They like different promoters do these type of things where it's like culture clash, comedy culture clash, yada yada yada. So I've done one of them, and one of them was at the Indigo O2. So that's probably, I think that's 1,800 people. So that's nice, like to be. Cause I used to work at O2 years back, like selling programs, like merchandise. So it's like. Like I'm back at the venue. I was
performing. That's like the full circle.
Yeah. Obviously, the next step is the O2 Arena. Obviously, I was in the sister venue, but the next step is the main O2. But I was like, like I'm performing here. That's mad. I didn't think about comedy then time that I was working. I wasn't even in my membrane. So to come back and it's like, you're
here
performing. Yeah, that was like, that's crazy.
So wait, what's your background? Are you Nigerian?
Yeah.
So how was it reception of like you basically saying I'm gonna do comedy full time because you're a doctor.
Yeah. I think with my parents, since I got the degree, they leave me alone.
Fair enough.
They don't bother me. I could come and say I'm the chief medical officer of ISIS. They'll back it. They they always say at least you're the chief. In the NHS you're junior, but here you're the chief. They don't give a damn. They let me be.
Okay.
They let me be.
So it's just that degree.
Look, man, that degree I could be an armed robber. They say he's a doctor though. That's what they'll say. So they don't mind. They leave me. They fully leave me.
Okay,
Obviously.
so they didn't take it too bad when you said
No. They were like, well, like if that's what you're gonna do, that's what you're gonna do. Like as long as you're sensible, as long as you don't like go broke at it, be no starving artist. But I can always freelance or locum in the NHS as a doctor in it. So I'm not really worried about that. You know, if it comes to it and it's like, rah, these bookings are looking low, then I'll just dip back in, man. I ain't ashamed to do that. You know what I mean? So yeah, they're cool, man. They're cool. They support. They've come to gigs and whatnot. So you know they've supported.
Yeah. When you're telling certain jokes, are you like, my mum's in the crowd right now, or
man, let her come through, man. She'll have to hold these jokes, man, because these jokes one day will pay off, and then when you want you'll
look back together.
100%, man, 100%. You want something nice? Alright, well, these jokes will pay for them eventually. Yeah. So now she's cool. Like, obviously, with comedy, you exaggerate stuff. The whole idea is hyperbole for comedic effects. You do that and stuff, but I'll never lie on them, or try to embarrass them. I wouldn't do that. It's just it will be a joke from a loving place if I'm gonna joke on.
Yeah, cool. Do you have any boundaries when you're telling jokes? Because I know I've seen some comics they have no boundaries. They say the craziest stuff.
So everyone's got their own sort of go-to areas. Like I tend to joke on stuff I know. I think you need to joke on stuff you know.
Okay.
Such you're interested in. Because when you start talking about stuff that you don't know, and someone in the audience knows more than you, then it's long.
Yeah, you look like an idiot.
You look like an idiot. Because when you're on stage, you need to be in control. The audience needs to believe, right, this person knows what they're doing, they're in control. So you need to know, not everything, but a lot of stuff about what you're saying. Because someone heckles and you said, nah, that you're capping, or you need to be able to stand your ground. But nah, I'm not capping, I'm not chatting shit. Because if you don't, then the audience are, right, why am I listening to this cat, man? Like, they don't know what they're talking about. They're lying.
And then you just lose that connection.
You lose that connection. They're like, man, I'm switching off, man. This person's a liar. They can't control what they're saying. So I stick to what I know. So that's what I'm interested in. It doesn't mean I won't cover certain topics, but it just means as long as the topic is something I know, I don't mind covering it.
100%.
So when you do your acts, do you base it on how today's generation is, or...
I try to do stuff I would find funny, and that's the only way a comic should be able to do it. I plan stuff I think are funny, and then I go off. And then obviously, sometimes things won't be well received. Sometimes people will be like, "Oh, you can't joke about it." Everyone's got their line.
Sensitive,
Everyone's line is somewhere, but everyone's got their own line. You know, you have a different sense of humor to me, and you have a different sense of humor to him. You know what I'm saying? We can be in a comedy club. We may laugh at 3 different things. Because that's just human nature. So you can only go off what you think is funny. And the audience, obviously, sometimes you tell a joke and the audience, everyone in the audience looking at you like, that was a bit mad still. and that's when you know, alright, cool, man. Alright, man. Cool. Then you know, but that's the beauty of comedy. The aim, it depends on what type of comic, but the aim is to get as close to the line as possible if you're that type of comic, and then know to get to it and pull back. Don't go too far. Or if you're going to step. Charlie Murphy has a famous line that he's a habitual line stepper. So if you're going to step, at least hop back and forth over it. And then come back. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't go out to offend anyone or piss anyone. Like, I may say some stuff that I mean and I feel strongly about, but I'll never go out stage to pick a sort of marginalized group and start punching down at them. Nah, that's not what I'm here for, man. Here to make people laugh, and hopefully they enjoy the set. Hopefully they learn something about me or learn something about something else they take from it and whatnot. But I'm here to make a good time, man. I want everyone to enjoy themselves. You know what I mean?
You should give us something then.
You can't come. You got paid to come to the show, man. You got to come to the tour.
Not just not.
You're trying to get time for free. You want to get a little tester live on the pod.
Not even one.
Well, I gave you one. The ISIS joke. That's a little sign, man. So you didn't realize what the joke. I just slid it in.
That's true.
I just slid it in, man. That's the best way to do it. Because now, if you come, I want a joke. You're expecting something. So you just slide it in, man. Maybe I'll slide a few off later. Just slide it in. You deliver it. That's the whole point. You deliver it casually.
Yeah.
So you come, obviously, when you're in a comedy audience, you're expecting jokes, innit? But that's the thing. I think sometimes, and people have made other comments have made jokes about this, particularly in black crowds. People come, hey, this guy better make me laugh.
Yeah.
Arms folded. Where other audiences probably a bit more relaxed and whatnot. Like I think with performing to black people, they just have a higher expectation. They don't give you.
They just see another black person and they're like, you have to make me laugh.
Yeah, they don't give you any little leeway. They want the good jokes and they want them early. They don't want none of this. It's like
they're not trying to build into the story. They just hit.
They want the punchlines, man. They want the punchlines. They don't give you no sort of sympathy or any shit like that, man. They want the hard hitting from the jump. Yeah, for sure.
I also saw that you on Sky Sports.
Yeah, that was lit, man.
Why were you on there?
I don't know myself. I don't know what I was doing there myself. My agent hit me up like, yeah, do you want to go on Sky Sports News? Fuck yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I want to go on? Yeah. Like, this is a show I've been watching since I was young, and of course I'm going to go on Sky Sports. And they were just talking about the World Cup. It was World Cup season. They had something called World Cup Breakfast where they was talking about, I think England were going to play Senegal. Yeah. And they just like,
they were Senegalese or something.
No, if it is, I'll take the booking first. I'll take the booking. I'll speak smooth French. I don't even know. They put me in. I was like, man, let's just chop it up. Then they're talking to me about Harry Maguire. Alright, man, can't support Man United. I was like, let's just chop it up then. Yeah. I can't. You know what? I think they came in for someone else in the agency and that person went around. So there's that shit to me. But that's sometimes you got to make your own luck, man. 100%. That's the thing. You can't be too prideful in this industry. Sometimes you get, usually I don't want someone sloppy seconds. Sometimes you got to take the sloppy seconds and enjoy it. 100%. And embrace it because you don't know where that opportunity could come. Like, it was mad. I was fully in the studio. I was thinking, what the hell? I was gassed. Like, I was like, right, this is mad. Yeah. Like, I'm fully in the Sky Sports studio. Like, I'm not a broadcaster.
Something you were watching from TV.
From young,
right in there.
I'll see Mike Wedderburn, man, that black don. I'll see him every morning 6 a.m. Don't give him the early shift. Said, like, let this guy sleep in once. But hey, he'll be doing that early shift. I'll be watching him in the morning.
He didn't miss one as well.
He's downstairs talking about horse racing.
Trust me, don't be talking about anything random. I don't Wedderburn, you don't know that about these horses, cuz you're reading off the prompt in front of me. I know you don't know that about these horses.
100. You see behind it, it's a green screen. Or is it actually a set?
No, it's not a green screen. It's actually a set.
It's an actual set.
It's weird though because you go in and then it's like offices. You see people offices offices screen. Then you just walk around and it's the studio.
Wait, what?
It's like in the middle of the room. It's some mad sort of setup. Like, I thought we'd be in a separate room, closed off. But I don't know what type of audio. They must have some like top tier audio settings. But it's like in the middle. People in the offices are talking. It's not like they're. So that was mad. Just like the lady come sit in. I'm thinking, what the. I'm bare looking around like, is this real? They like tap everything. Is this real? But it was nice, man. The presenters were all blessed. Like they didn't treat me like I was a novice. They fully asked me my opinion and stuff. I'm like, I have not played football at any respectable level. I don't know why you asked for my opinion, but they still like heard it and said, "Oh, okay, we hear that." And I was sitting with Sue Smith, former England. I think she played for Everton, I believe England, and Clinton Morrison, who played for Palace and Ireland. Yeah. So they were there, and I'm talking with ex-pros, and they're fully hearing my opinion. I said, this is crazy. That's crazy. Like, you guys played at the highest level. I don't want to tell you the Sunday league I was in, but and you're hearing what I'm saying. I said, that's lit, man. That's love. So
would you say that was one of your turning points as well?
I think I thought it was crazy, but I was just like, I'm just going on to talk football. So it wasn't like, they didn't expect me to be funny. Obviously, I bust 1-2 joke, but they didn't expect me to be funny. It's just like going on there chatting it. So I think people seeing that, like some of my friends and people that follow me on social, they're like, "Oh, this is what you're on Sky Sports. You're flying, guys." So people, it's all optics, isn't it? Sometimes the opportunity can look better than it actually is. Obviously, I loved it. I'll embrace it. They invite me on tomorrow, I'll go. You know what I mean? But it's not like that month I was able to pay for X, Y, and Z. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just more of a, oh, come on, we'll sort you cabs out, but come on, do your thing, and then bounce, innit? So obviously to everyone else, oh my Sky Sports. Yeah. But it's just, obviously that's the game with social media. It's all optics, isn't it?
Yeah. It's what you look like.
It's what you look like. Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, it was love, man. Like, I'll talk football for free. So I talk football for free in my WhatsApp group. Why wouldn't I go talk football on the TV? You know what I mean? It's the same for me. It's the same conversation we're having.
Yeah. That's pretty much the conversations that we have here anyway.
100%.
Conversations that we would have in our group chats.
100%. 100%. That's what most podcasts start as. We have fun as a group chat in our group. Then let people hear it. And then obviously the thing is with podcasts, because there's no barrier to entry. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry's got one, innit? So the public got just so much choice. And usually, I guess you find one or two that you mess with, and then you stick with it, innit?
Yeah.
And it's hard to become that third one for someone, innit? Yeah. But that's a challenge. You keep on putting out good content, people will find you, innit?
Eventually.
100%.
It's basically just having as many different leads so people can potentially see your stuff.
Oh, of course, man. That's why you put it on Insta, TikTok, all that, YouTube, all that good stuff. Have guests on like you guys are doing now, who can hopefully they'll share it with their people. That's a new audience that may have not known you before.
Exactly, yeah.
That could have potentially seen you.
Yeah, they will listen to. Someone I like is on it. I'll check it. Oh, let me check out the other episodes and boom, boom, boom. So that's it's all about networking, isn't it?
That's actually what it is.
So, say what you're saying.
No, I was gonna say. So, would you ever do a set, or have you ever done a set with another person?
I've not done a duo. I've not done that. That's a different skill.
Yeah.
That's in terms of. Yeah, I've not done it. I would embrace it though. I'd embrace it. Like
surely that's more different to an individual.
Oh, 100%. Because the comedy comes from bouncing off each other.
Yeah.
When you're an individual, the comedy comes. You're making the scenario in your head, and it's my energy. I'm doing the setup and punch. Whereas when you're doing it with someone else, someone needs to set up, someone needs to punch, and someone needs to know who's doing what. And that only comes through knowing each other and having that experience. Otherwise, that's a lot. I've not done it. I wouldn't mind hosting with someone. Okay. Like you see sometimes at these award shows, they got a guy and a girl.
Kind of like Chunks and Philly type thing.
Yeah, they're just presenting an award. Hey, the awards for the best R&B singer is. So they do. Usually they do a little joke. They bust a little joke in between. So I wouldn't mind doing that, but I don't know if I'll do like a double act because I guess I'm so used to it being me. When you're a comic, you're selfish. You want the limelight yourself, innit? So you want all eyes on me. But hey, host, give me the mic, man. Hey, man, bust out, man. Bust out.
Yeah, for real. I was gonna say, so who's in terms of like other comedians, who's the biggest you've met?
I've met. Oh, that's a good question. Met in person. Because I've seen big comics, but in terms of like I've met and like chopped it up with, I'm thinking in the US, no. In the UK, someone, in terms of met and, it's weird, like I've been in green rooms and gigged with different comics. Like I don't know if I've ever gigged with him, but I've met him, I've been on his podcast and he's always giving me advice on like Dane Baptiste. I don't know if you've come across him. Dope comic, man. He's done like live at Apollo. He's had his own sitcom on BBC. Real. I think he was one of the first black comics to ever get nominated at Edinburgh, the award festival I was talking about. So obviously that's history right there. I've met and gigged with a guy called Tom Davis. He's got a sitcom. He's got a sitcom on BBC One that the name escapes me, but he's got a new show on Channel 4 as well. So I've gigged with him, and he's soaring, man. He done Apollo the last series as well. So I've gigged with him. I know him. Who else? I don't know. K Kurd. I don't know if you heard of K Kurd. He's a British Kurdish comic. He's done Apollo as well. He's when Mo done his first tour, he supported Mo on his first tour.
Sorry to cut you quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is Apollo is that like
that's
Wembley?
The grand
that's
stage,
the grand stage in the UK.
Yeah, in terms of stand-up comedy, like your it's not doesn't have the prestige it used to have. Okay. Because people aren't watching TV as much. Because it's a TV show, people consume.
Was it used to be late on BBC One?
It's BBC Two, so they dance on BBC Two. So it comes out once a year. They record a batch and then it's put out a weekly episode. Yeah. So it's as a stand-up, that's the show you want to be on because that's it's good money when you get it, and also it's the prestige. I've done Apollo. It's a big gig and stuff like that. So so people take you seriously. Like more seriously once you've done Apollo, that's when it's like, alright, man, you on Apollo? Say no more. It's like, I don't know if it's like, but I guess it's almost probably how back in the day, maybe if you get a Fire in the Booth by Charlie Sloth, you're seen as a more recognised rapper or something like that. Alright, you've been on fire, alright, say no more, alright, cool.
So it's like that same kind of...
Yeah, just that recognition of, okay, you've done that, alright, say no more. You're not just a little boy or girl on this thing, you're actually serious on it. So for sure, man. For sure.
But as you're saying, the people you've met, were those the top you reckon?
I've seen Chappelle many a times, but I've never met him. I've never spotted him, dapped him up and say, yo, I love your stuff. I've never had the chance to meet him like that. But I've been to, when he's come over to London, I've seen loads of his shows. I've seen Chris Rock, I've seen Kevin Hart. I've seen Trevor Noah. So I've seen these people perform, but I can't say I haven't met them. You know what I mean, innit? So
and you see when you go to each one of these these shows.
Yeah, no doubt.
You take different advice from each one, different knowledge.
Oh yeah. You see how they structure their jokes, how they sort of bring that song, say something at top, then they bring it back near the end. We call that a bring back. We see the topics they talk about, how they approach certain things, how deep they're willing to go, their act outs. Are they very physical? Are they within themselves? Do they break out into songs or whatever it is? There's different sort of techniques you can use as a comic, and it's just like, okay, I like the way he did that. Okay, maybe that's a technique I could use. I like the way he did that. Oh, I didn't really feel that. I don't think he could have probably taken that joke out or whatever. You're kind of like, you're enjoying the show, but you're also kind of analysing it at the same way. So there's always things you can take from watching the people at the top of their game, for sure, man.
Of course. Who would you say the GOAT is? If you give us like the top 4
my
comics
4
of all time.
That I really like. I like Chappelle.
Yeah.
So what, is this in order? Or?
No, I wouldn't put this in order, but yeah, Chappelle. 2 that I really like have since passed. Patrice O'Neal, American comic. If you've not heard of him before, he's got a special out on YouTube. It's called Elephant in the Room. Well worth an hour and 15 minutes, man. Just hilarious from the jump. Bernie Mac. I think Bernie Mac's fucking crazy, man. Like, just a beast of a comic, and which went into acting after. And then the 4th spot is always a toss-up for me between probably Cat Williams and a guy I like more recently. I've only come across him more recently, called Earthquake. So Earthquake's Chappelle produced a special for him on Netflix. So yeah, that half an hour. If you got half an hour spare, if you want to bust up.
I might be wrong here. Was he on opening act for him?
He was opening act he done like 10 minutes. He done 10 minutes at the O2, but he's also got a special out on Netflix, which Chappelle produced.
Oh, okay.
Half an hour, very, very much worth your time if you're into comedy like that. So yeah, those are probably my 4, between Cat and Earthquake for the last position, but definitely Chappelle, Bernie, and Patrice. Yeah, I just think, and they're all different type of comics. I think Chappelle's like storytelling is A1. And he's obviously probably more research special. He's not afraid to go to places that other people may be afraid to go to, and the way he shapes his jokes, he sort of makes difficult topics very accessible but still very funny. Yeah. And his social commentary is A1 for me. Then again, Patrice. If you think Dave didn't have any fear, Patrice, he didn't give up. He goes in. There's no topic. He's not shook. He's not scared. Yeah. Fearless, and obviously he's a big guy as well. So people I ain't gonna chat to him. Yeah. Ain't gonna mess with him. So yeah, fearless, funny as fuck. Explains things in an easy way. Just watch Elephant in the Room. That's what I could say. Okay. And then Bernie as well, man. Like obviously his stuff when I'm watching it, cause it's the stuff from like the noughties, like way back when. Obviously some stuff he says then he can't say now, and we know that times have changed and whatnot. But still, he's got some jokes like Milk and Cookie. He's got like jokes that you can reference them to this day, and people know what you're talking about. And that's when you know you got a signature bit. Yeah. When I could be like, remember that joke someone did. It's almost like, remember that song. Someone could be like, remember that joke. And that's power. That knows that joke banged. Someone can just reference a joke you've made, and people
that's it.
And people
no matter how long ago.
Yeah, bro. I remember. Yeah, of course, man. It's a legendary joke. So yeah, those and obviously you probably realize loads of them. Well, all 5 I mentioned were Black American comics. I probably listen and watch a lot more Black American comedy than I do UK, but obviously I still check out my UK brothers as well, man. Like I went to see Mo Gilligan live on his last tour. On his last tour, I saw Dane's show when his last show and stuff like that. So you always got to make sure you tap in with where you're at as well. Yeah, 100%.
So would you use this comedy to then go into like acting and stuff like that? Yeah,
like I'm at a stage where if any opportunity comes, I'll listen, I'll hear it and take it on board. You know what I mean? I think comedy is an avenue itself. You can either stick to the stand up, but there's so many different avenues. People go into acting, presenting, voiceover work. There's so much other things you can go into from it. And I'm at a stage where if someone gives me an opportunity and I think it's dope, it makes sense, I'll do it. I'll probably come to a point where it's like, okay, these are the things I want to focus on. But right now I'm at a stage where it's like, if someone offers me something and they think I'll be good for it, yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. But I haven't got any. My preference and what I would always love is stand up. But I know the game is you do stand up, then it gives you some notoriety. Then because acting's what usually makes people huge.
Yeah,
they're in a movie.
Like Kevin Hart, that's the route he went.
Yeah. Think Like a Man.
Yeah.
He was in that film. Like obviously, I kind of heard of him, but it's only when I saw that film I was like, this guy's funny, man. Who's this guy?
Yeah.
You check him out.
Yeah.
Alright, boom. Oh, he got specials out, and then it's like that. So people find you, then they realize you got a catalog. Sort of like how your podcast, you know, someone, hey man, someone I know is on that podcast. Let me check it out. Oh right, these man got episodes for days. Let me check it out. So you got that catalog. So I think that's usually the way. Someone spots you on something, then they go back and check the catalog. Alright man, that wasn't a one-off. Alright, these guys are serious. These girls are serious, or whatever it is. So yeah, that's the aim, and that's why I want to get my stuff out there. So if people find me, right, he's got a special out on YouTube. Alright man, let me go check that. Boom, alright, he made me laugh for an hour, alright, he's a real deal, alright. He's got a new tour out, alright, boom, let me check that. So it's kind of like that, you got to make sure your stuff's out there, so when people find you, they got something to check.
Yeah, something to look back on,
100%.
So, for example, I'm a very casual comedy fan. I actually do want to get into it a bit more, as in like finding more comments.
Yeah, for sure, man.
What would you say, like, that's the best place? Would you just go to open mic events and just literally sit there and watch them? Because I've heard people say that in New York, they just have, like, these underground type things.
Yeah. You got open mics everywhere. I'm sure in Luton there's some open mics and stuff. Like, open mics hit and miss, though. I will say that. You may get some people doing their first ever show, and they're going to be right naturally. If you haven't done something before, not be good at it. Not competent at it. So you may get some people, or you get people who... They've just been at this level for years, and this is their ceiling.
And it's just
this is their minute,
Yeah, just them, like, you just have to hear it. So I wouldn't maybe do that. I'll probably go to a proper club, but during the week. So I say like, obviously you're not going to always dip into London, but there's a club, for example, called Top Secret Comedy Club. It's in Covent Garden. They have shows on every day of the week. Obviously Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's going to be a bit more expensive. But during the week, they get people that proper comics, but trying some new stuff. So they're just dipping in to mess about. So it'll be a good fight. It'll be at least decent stuff, but the price won't be too much. Like I think they even do some shows at £1 or something like that. So it's £1 a book, and then they ask for a little donation on the way out if you wanna drop something. So that's what I'd recommend. Like proper clubs, but middle of the week, where you may get people dropping in, doing some new stuff, doing some old stuff. And that's how I would sort of go out and discover people.
So that's the best way you'd say.
I would say to find people. Obviously, you may open mic hit and miss. So you may go and you may feel like, oh man, like this ain't at a level I enjoy. So it may put you off. So I'd recommend going a bit higher up in the sort of scale. Go to clubs where it's proper comics, but they're just trying out some new stuff, so it won't be too pricey, but also it'll be decent vibes. And they'll probably, because normally what you do when you're doing a new set, you usually put in some of your good jokes that work and blend it with some of the jokes you're working on. So at least the set may be a roller coaster, but at least the highs will be good highs. The lows will be what they are, innit?
It comes with it.
Yeah, it comes with it.
You made me laugh how accepted.
100%. So it's like that. So that's why I'll definitely say, boom, hit up like a proper club during the week. So like if you're in London, Top Secret, I'm sure there's stuff in Luton or close to where you guys are at as well.
100%.
Definitely. So I was even gonna say, so you mentioned music as well, like some guys do sets that go into music. Is that something you're into, or? I've
got a few jokes. Like I'm torn. I've got a joke that I do currently where it's basically based on Michael Jackson's I think it's Smooth Criminal. Yeah. I think basically it's a joke on Are You Okay, Annie, and I just play on that. Which is fine, and people get it because it's a recognizable song and whatnot. But there's always a part of me which is like, like if I've got, not all my jokes are like that based on music, but I'm thinking, like if some of my jokes am I just cheating by using popular culture references in my jokes? And I'm having this conversation with myself. I don't know what the right answer is, because like if I do a joke and it's based on a funny meme or something that people generally accept, let me just try to think of an example. So people, let's say I tried to make a joke. I wouldn't do this, but obviously people say Drake is soft because he's light skinned. Yeah. If I try to make a joke off that, that's something that the internet already knows. It's a meme and stuff like that. So I'm like, I wouldn't really go there because that's not an original thought. All comics need to try to come up with original thoughts. But I'm having a debate myself. Like, as long as you put your own spin on the music, I don't really mind a music joke that you write. that's fine. But I think if you're just regurgitating what's already out there or what people already think, then that's not an original thought.
Yeah,
That's what makes sense. So that's where I'm always like, okay, as long as I'm keeping it original and original to me, and you can only hear this from me, so to speak, then that's fine. But I think if it's something that is a meme that everyone hears or knows about, then that's when it's like, alright, man.
Yeah,
leave that to the internet. Leave that, because I think sometimes people see memes. Oh, that's funny, and they try to write it down. It's like, nah, man. Like, you gotta leave the memes to the internet.
Leave that for the comment section.
Yeah, leave that for the comment section. Leave that. You should be better than that, in my opinion.
No, 100%. I hear that. So also, I see on your gram that you were striking for NHS as well.
I went out there, man.
This sounds very dumb, innit?
Yeah.
And I know it's about pay they're striking.
Yeah.
Any other reason apart from pay why they're striking?
I mean, no, it's pay and conditions. Like, obviously, conditions covers a lot of things. So, as I said, I've been on sabbatical, so I just went to the front line just to moral support their vibes.
Oh, so you wouldn't even add NHS at that time?
No, I've been off for 6 months in this. So when I went there the other day, I just rolling through, man. I did solidarity in that, innit? Let's support them when they're going through their thing, innit? So I was like, but yeah, okay. That's the thing. That was the first time like been striking like that, and the energy was just. I thought it would be like the Black Lives Matter movement. I listened to DMX that morning. I was pumped. I was amped. But these guys, it's not the same energy, man. So they're a bit more sort of low key with it, a bit more subtle. Like, pay us more. Pay us more. I'll put this on sort of. Some proper amping. Are we amping or what? These guys are just being with the placards of being polite and shit. But it is what it is, isn't it? I've been paying conditions. Like, obviously, I'm on the sabbatical now, but. There's a lot of stuff that's not right with how they sort of treat staff and how staff are sort of paid. Then also the general lack of sometimes appreciation for the work you do. Sometimes you stay late, you don't always get reimbursed for it and stuff like that. And the way rotas are set up, it's like it's very hard. It's very hard to get time off you want. Like if you're on a rota, let's say the rota I had last was you work 1 in 4 weekends, and on the weekend you're scheduled, you may have an important family event or something important you want to go to. To try and get that weekend off, you have to move heaven and earth to try and get it off. And stuff like that. It's like, right, man, I'm a professional. I've been working. I do my best when I'm here. And I'm having to like fight to get a weekend off. So it's just stuff like that which doesn't help. And then when you feel you're not being paid enough or paid correctly, obviously because inflation means I think it's like 25% down compared to 2008. So that all amps up to feeling like, right, you guys don't rate us. And I think that's what's driving the whole thing.
It's understandable though.
Because
if you're having to go helter-skelter just to get a day off work, then you're putting in mad hours anyway.
You're not getting that you deserve.
You've got the most important job on the whole planet.
But they're not treating it like that, innit? That's the mad thing. They're not. Obviously, these guys, most of these politicians got private healthcare, so they don't really mind. This is getting all political and stuff. But they don't really mind, in my opinion, where the NHS goes because they think they're cool with their private stuff in it. So if they falls by the wayside, for them, even probably some of them want to take it private anyway and make money that way in it. But time will tell with all of that stuff in it.
Then we become like America.
Yeah, but that's it, man. The decision, that one boy. Ambulance, $500. You just walk to the hospital. Boy, like,
do you think that's gonna happen though? Do you think they're gonna? It
wouldn't surprise me. Look, like the government in charge show that money's first. MOB, they don't give a damn. That's their motto. Like they will talk down on rap and drill, but they're the ones holding up that MOB motto. They're the forerunners when it comes to it. So it wouldn't surprise me if they start trying to sell stuff off to private companies. Like, you know, they even sometimes with NHS services, when they call it choose and book, where a GP can choose, do I go to the NHS or private? So there's already pathways like that anyway. So it won't surprise you if more money starts getting put into private healthcare and it starts ebbing away at what the NHS do. It wouldn't surprise me because these people have shown that money has to be made. These guys are already balling. They just want to ball more. They don't care.
They just want to go super clear, innit?
And it doesn't even make sense because I swear, like, on by book, these lot don't even earn that much. But they're living like they earn a lot.
No, it's because there's like, there was a thing, there's an organisation that was called Led by Donkeys.
Wait, organisation?
No, the organisation called Led by Donkeys, and then they got a huge Twitter following and whatnot, and then they basically pulled a prank on some of these MPs and said, man, they set up some fake company, I think Career, somewhere in Asia they set up this fake company, and they got an actor to call up MPs and say, hey man, we just need you to be on our board of directors. We'll fly you out. Just come to a few meetings a year. And these guys, no due diligence, and they're just quoting their fees. And then I think Kwasi Kwarteng wanted like 1,200 an hour. I think Matt Hancock wanted 1,500 an hour. Just to be on, just to show face.
Yeah, man.
Just to do a few meetings.
A rack 5 an hour. That is.
Let me tell you, man.
How long do you reckon it'll be at the meeting? 3 hours. They do 2 a month.
Look, these guys, it was just like, I think you've got to attend 8 meetings a year, and these guys are, is it right to fly to Korea? Oh, absolutely, I'm sure it'll be okay. And like, there's a time you want to be giving to your constituents and helping the people of the area you represent. These guys are willing to sell their time to foreign countries. These guys, man, they're shameless. They're shameless. Even Liz Truss now, it's in the news that I think is it Checkers? There's a accommodation that the Prime Minister gets access to. Yeah. And they're claiming that she took 12k of items from like bathrobes and stuff. That's what they're alleging, that there's 12k of items missing, and she's took it and she's not trying to pay the bill. I'm like, she's trying to treat it like it's Hilton Hotel, because trying to take the bathroom and thing there, and they're like, no, you asked money, she's trying to be like, no.
Man said she went for the link up, grabbed everything she could and bounced.
That's what she did. They're like, no,
now they're chasing you for it. You can't even run that. That's
come on, big PM like her. She was a sham anyway, man. 40 days or whatever, man.
That's a lick though. That's a chop. 40 days. And you're like, in 40 days, what are you really? And
you're taking bathrobes. Get out of it, man. I don't want to see. I don't want to hear from you again, man. Her and Kwarteng. I don't want to. My little brother caught him in. He caught him in Canary Wharf. I said, this man in the financial district. I said, Kwasi, you better leave, son. With your record, I don't see. You shouldn't even own a bank.
Someone would have crashed it if they wanted to. Bro, straight. What?
Kwasi, man, how many people are broke because of this?
What did he do?
Nah, he came out with a budget, and essentially.
Oh, he's the one who messed up the budget.
Yeah, it's him. He came out with a budget, and he just tried to move things too fast, too quickly, and then they dashed him out. They dropped Liz Truss dropped him, and then everyone put pressure on her. Then she got collapsed, and then she got dropped as well. The whole team just bust out. The whole team got collapsed.
Just said, fuck it, man.
Yeah, them shameless people, man. 12k, run it back, Liz, man. Run it back. Run the bathroom back, man.
Liz, trust me, you need answers.
If I run the pod,
Liz, you need to give us all your answers.
Yeah. Trust, come on the pod and sit on this chair and answer the people, man. Yeah. Come in, collapse, man. Get out of here, man.
These times she's trying to take our jackets and that on top of it.
Don't mind her. She'll take jackets and that.
She'll take everything. She would have collected chairs. She would have had someone already collected the chairs for her.
Shameless behaviour, man. Shameless.
That's jokes. Wait, so that fake organisation, they actually got quotes of what these people are.
There's a Zoom call, you can watch it.
Zoom call.
So they got these guys on Zoom call saying, like, how much would you charge? They're all saying, 1,500. Led by donkeys. Go on Twitter, if you've got Twitter, or just go on Led by Donkeys. These guys, they're always trying to catch out the government, innit? So they finished them. These men were talking big figures to not do anything. They don't care, man. So all these, what an MP will try to do, they get an MP and then you get bribed by big companies, or they call it lobbying. This is bribery, where companies want you to pass laws that favour them, innit? So they'll give you a little, come to this dinner or take this gift or whatever. You're meant to declare it. Who knows if they all declare everything? But anyway,
they do declare.
And they donate. Oh, you're meant to donate this. You get donations from people who want you to clearly vote. You're buying people. If I give you 20 grand, I'm not giving you 20 grand for nothing. Yeah, I want you to do something
in return. Yeah, of course.
So that's what these guys do, 20 grand, and then obviously if this person's pro. Let's say someone's pro lizards and I'm passing a law to get all the lizards in the country or whatever it is. That's what they're trying to do. So that, I don't mind these MPs, man. They can be bought. And they showed with that video with them saying 12.50, they can be bought. And if a foreign country can buy you,
then we're finished. Then
we're dusted, isn't it?
Finished. That says it all. I even wanted to ask you about, have you been seeing this whole war thing recently?
What war?
That Putin's gonna send a missile and that.
Look, man. I don't mess with no Russians, man. That's what
I saw a tweet saying he's on his last legs and he wants to shy out.
Look, man. He may shut the thing down. I don't mess with no Russians, especially Putin in it. So if this guy, he will put in the work, because I don't blame him.
Wrestles bears.
For pastime.
Me personally, I feel like he doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Of course, man.
He's gonna send it and be like, love,
man's out, press the thing, man.
Man's out, hold it down, man.
Look, man, I wouldn't mess with no Vladimir Putin, man. That guy will put Rishi Sunak in a headlock. He will grab you. He will bully you. That shoot you. He will bully him, fam.
I don't think the UK even has enough for Russia anyway.
No way.
What fucked?
No one wants to buck into Russia.
Them men are charged.
No way.
Yeah. And if they get the right allies as well, I don't
even think they need allies like that. But I saw they got China. I don't even get my political stuff wrong.
They're allied with China. China got over 1 billion people, boy. So it's all long.
It's all China, man. Them man can scrap as well. They want to send soldiers.
They got numbers, man. 1 billion people. They like, but the UK ain't that.
I saw a pair of them are guys as well.
Oh yeah, they're the one child policy where they want to just brothers, and
they're all family members, everything. They're all Gucci, man.
We don't want that smoke.
Yeah, no way. I want to even say something quickly because I know you said you got to cut in a minute.
Yeah, go.
Jerry Springer, he passed away.
You
ever watch it?
Oh, that was legendary, man. That's daytime TV done properly, man.
Yeah.
That's why Jeremy Kyle tried to eat off that, man. No, you're not that guy. Jerry Springer, the original.
I remember the days I was off school and that.
Yeah, that's when
when you had no Sky Sports. Trust. You couldn't watch nothing but Freeview.
Come on.
And Channel U.
Yo. Come on. Jerry Springer, he had some mad people fighting. You know, my girl cheated on me. I don't know whose baby's this.
Bro, they showed the clip here. It was so peak. The girl was dating a black man. She didn't know he was black.
Wait, what?
I'll get up.
Them people that don't see colour. That's a mad thing.
Wait, what do you mean she didn't know she was black?
So he was at. So in the I'll send it to you after.
Yeah.
In the obviously, you know how they're sitting there like this.
Yeah.
You got the whole headline, everything.
Yeah, no
there.
doubt.
He's like, I'm black. She's like, what? And then she's asking DNA test for her child, and I'm thinking, how dare
stupidity?
How dare you? The audacity.
But
that show though.
That legendary, man.
Yeah.
You see people fighting and scrap. You see Steve. How can the bodyguard get his own show after? That's the thing was a bad thing. The bodyguard got his own show.
I think that was the first time live scraps because Jeremy Kyle, they never used to show the fight.
It's bare mouthy word. Yeah, come off it, man.
These men were actually scrapping each other and getting gold fam.
That was proper. That was peak. And he even used to bring the slime and stuff as well.
Oh yeah.
When he brought the slime, I was like, what's the purpose of this?
Come on.
What's the purpose of the slime?
No, but he. You see, I think he was like a big empower to how TV is today. Like he brought the fun to it. He brought the fun to it. Like how you bring in slime on
because there was a lot of shows. You got the Murray Show, Stevie Murray, all of them type of shows
100%.
in America, which started popping around the same
daytime
time.
trash TV, man. You can't beat it. You can't beat it. Jeremy Kyle tried to eat off that. Nah, I want that authentic Jerry Springer. Legendary. R.I.P. Jerry, man.
Yeah.
R.I.P. most definitely.
100%.
R.I.P. for real.
Jeremy Kyle. I think Jeremy Kyle had some decent shows, but they didn't really have affairs in that. It was just stealing. Every day.
Stealing.
He stole £1,000.
Go to small claims court, man. Get out of there, man. Don't put this on TV, man. I felt $1,000. Get out of there, man. I want to see some nasty EastEnders storyline, man. Someone's ass when they shouldn't have. I want to see some nasty. No, should be no $1,000. Get out of there, man. I'll pay it.
Stealing and them things. You're doing the whole
test rehab.
Come on, man. I don't want to see that, man. I don't want to see that.
Fam. What are you saying, though?
You said you.
I got cut. Obviously, man. Sorry, man. I got cut, man. But
it was our fault as well. M1 delays.
I told these man, set up in Luton, set up in your hometown, and let people come to you. Most definitely, man. That's my advice to you guys. Was your pod. Obviously, it's very successful. Do your thing in it, but that's what let people come to you, man. Save your legs, man.
Yeah, 100%.
And I was gonna say before we finish, so any upcoming comedians,
most definitely
tell them something.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Come look, man. If you want to try, if you think you're funny, you got banner, you got jokes, write a little 5-minute set. Go to your local comedy club and try it out. It's the best thing I've done, and 6 years later, I'm still doing my thing. I'm able to make a living off it, but. I don't know if I dropped my socials, but I am on I'm on all the social Instagram,
It'll be on the screen.
TikTok. It'll be on the screen as well at Micheal AKADRIRI, man. So yeah, come check me out, man. Most definitely.
100%, man.
100
Any
times, bro.
any dates, anything you want to plug?
Now I'm just doing some work in progress here. So this is the new show I'm gonna work on. I've got some dates in London if you're that way based, that way inclined to come through. And obviously,
when we get the dates, we'll pass it on to people as well.
I definitely want to come down to a couple.
Yeah, man, come through,
100%.
man. You guys more than welcome, DK and Damz, man. Come through, man. You're more than welcome, man.
Appreciate
Most
that,
definitely.
Thank you.
But anything else until next week?
Until next week, my peoples.
Peace.
Easy.
Cool, lovely. We're just gonna get a thumbnail and then